afternoon, everybody. Yes, this is a later review. It's because things got away. I had to do other things, other important things before this review. I was going to do this Saturday, move to Sunday, move it to Monday, Tuesday, but I'm going to move it to today only because, well, episode 4 comes out tomorrow. So, hey guys, it's AWO here, in order. And this afternoon She-Hulk spoiler review. This is a live stream. Before we get into this, I want you to do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Once the stream is over, click that notification bell to know when streams come up and when the videos are uploaded, so you won't miss it. So yes. As you see, as you see, my title is done on purpose. I did it on purpose, just to make fun of everybody bitching about Megan Thee Stallion, that scene, the twerking after credit scene at the end of She-Hulk episode 3. Everybody complaining about it. People complaining about it. Just, people just like to complain and complain. A harmless scene, really harmless, if you ask me. It's a Marvel show. It's not meant for young kids. It's meant for teens and adults, teens and young adults. Like, if you notice the Marvel content of the past few years, it's not exactly kid friendly. That scene, obviously, what is Megan Thee Stallion famous for? Tell me, name me one song. No, it's the twerking. And She-Hulk has always been, or Jennifer Walters has always been a fun character. Hey George, what movie are you watching? Always been a fun character. And this is really a joke, man. I went on Thursday, right? Morning. I didn't see the video episode yet, but I went on Twitter. I saw everybody like talking about it. Then I saw the episode. I'm like, then I seen what the scene was. Oh, Goodfellas. It's a good movie. It's a pretty good movie. And I saw it. I'm like, so what? I'm like, big deal. So what? I don't see the big deal. It's funny, but it broke the internet. She-Hulk twerking broke the internet. It broke the internet today. That's everybody was talking about all that Thursday was She-Hulk twerking in the office. That's what everybody was talking about. They're all bitching about it. And I know there's some people I talked to give the reasons why I didn't like it, and some really stupid reasons. I'm not going to name names here. I'm not going to do that. It's really petty. It would be disrespectful. But I don't care if you look at, like, you have to understand, this is a comedy show, guys. This is a comedy show. She-Hulk is a comedy show. And I know. We make fun of Marvel for being too joke-like, right? As for MCU lately, it's become more of a joke with the comedy in the movies and TV shows. But She-Hulk this is what they wanted to do with She-Hulk. This is just the intention of She-Hulk, was to make it more fun, adult, young adult fun. And I think it's just really, really stupid for people bitching about that. Who cares? There's things in the other Marvel stuff that we don't see people talk. We don't see people having issues with people. People were found it funny about talking about Captain America's ass and him having sex, and nobody had a big issue with that. Why? Is it because he's a man? Is it because he's a boy, a man? Remember, we're talking about his ass. His ass was her wallpaper on her phone. And after credits scene, the first episode, they were talking about him being a virgin. But nobody had a problem with that. But once it comes to this, twerking and Megan Stallion, oh, that's an issue. And some people are like, oh, the little girls will see us. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna let your teens, you're gonna let little girls and little boys. You have a problem with that, but you don't have a problem with them talking about Captain America's ass and him being a virgin. Do you see the hypocrisy there, guys? Do you see the hypocrisy there? Oh, what about little kids going to see Thor: Love and Thunder when Zeus mentioned orgies? If you have a little kid or going up to Zeus mentions orgies and a little kid asks her parent, when a girl, boy, little boy or girl asks her parent what an orgy is. As a parent, I'm not a parent, but as a parent, if there's any parents in here, what would you say? What would you say? See, stop picking and choosing what is right and wrong. Because I'm pointing out hypocrisy there. I guess it's because I don't know because because it has to do with a man, it's okay, but with women, it's not okay. Hmm. It's just really really stupid. Oh, and I know there's some there's some people that don't like the humor on Marvel, and I'm gonna say one thing. I think people that don't like the show don't understand Jennifer Walter She-Hulk, what she's like. Don't read the comics. The most popular one, John Burns one. This is how she is. You can bitch and complain. Okay, but if you don't understand what the character is like, then stop bitching. I see this problem with the Lord of the Rings of Power. And I'm not going to talk about Wings of Power here, but I see this people issue having Galadriel and stuff. Ring of Power. But this breaks the internet. This really breaks the internet. And I like this episode. I personally did like this episode. I did not like, well, I didn't like 2 or hate 2, episode 2, but I really did like this episode 3. Yeah, George, I want you to come on about this. I mean, we're not gonna do a long stream, but give me a few seconds. I'm only gonna have 1 or 2 guests on because I'm not gonna have a long stream. So give me a few seconds to let me get my headset, and then I'm gonna invite you on, buddy. That's fine. Take your time. I'm not gonna go long here. And I could send a link here too. Anybody wants to come on. But like I'm saying, like you're picking and choosing. This whole thing breaks the internet. When there's other stuff, inappropriate stuff in the past Marvel, the content this year, Thor, Thor, Love and Thunder, with Zeus. And look, we all know Zeus in Greek mythology. He's a horn dog, obviously. So obviously, episode 1, they're talking about Captain America, him being a virgin, and they're talking about his ass. Very appropriate for little kids, right? Right? But no mention. They don't mention. Those people are like, they don't mention anything about that. But when it comes to Megan Thee Stallion twerking, it's like that joke. You know that Joker meme. You know that Joker meme I'm talking about with no one bats eye. You know that famous Joker meme, right? But when then everybody then this something and everything goes crazy, whatever. You know that Joker meme I'm talking about. Hello, George. Just coming back from Goodfellas. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. And I still have my Tubby Nugget logo that I made, which I got to show to the people at work when we return.
He didn't even Max didn't even change the name on this didn't even change his name. Like
I saw, yeah, I saw that.
I reminded him last night, Max, you still have the same name.
Listen. I didn't do that because of Isaac. Like every time Isaac said Tubby, I thought of Tubby Nugget, which I was introduced to this past summer camp by my supervisor. So like
Hmm.
my supervisor got me started on it. Like I love my supervisor, I love my coworkers, but they got me started on Tubby Nugget.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So I'm talking about like how people are having are talking about the Megan Thee Stallion, the twerking scene, and how they're picking and choosing what's appropriate and not appropriate. When we had other stuff in the past, like this year, we had past other stuff in Marvel, like Thor: Love and Thunder. They mentioned orgies. They mentioned Captain America's virginity in the first episode in his ass. And remember, she had his ass as a wallpaper, but nobody complains about that. They all thought it was funny. But when it comes to this, shit breaks loose.
Well, also don't forget the first Iron Man film. Tony Stark was basically sleeping with a reporter. Basically, had the plane employees like act like a bunch of strippers. In Iron Man 2, he took a piss in his suit.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
we
and
look at
only
that at all that as like top tier Marvel.
yeah, and oh yeah, he was drunk too, right? Purposely got drunk,
Yeah.
right?
Well, maybe not Iron
Yeah.
Man 2, but Iron Man 1 we look at as like one of the top 5, top 10 best MCU movies or projects ever.
Yeah, like I think it's just because it's a woman doing it. It's She-Hulk.
Also, to the Snyder fans who are also outraged over it, don't forget in BVS, Lois Lane was naked in a bathtub. Like
Yeah, I
and
mean,
like then Clark Kent basically went in there to like make out with her and probably do other stuff with her that we didn't see on screen.
and Joker in the Snyder cut and the Nightmare scene basically implied he was going to give him a hand job.
I mean, listen, I'm just gonna say this as somebody that works with kids. I don't find the scene offensive. I mean, obviously, it's up to the parents to make that decision. But I've worked with kids who tell me their parents let them watch Deadpool, and I believe them 100%.
I was in a theater with kids that watched Logan.
Same here, Logan, Deadpool, Deadpool 2. I just
It's
saw
a,
Jaws with a bunch of little
it's
kids in the theater. There were babies in the theater, and yet they
the
were
problem
behaving so
is
well.
the problem is they think all comic book movies are meant for kids, and they're not. They're not.
It's like let's be real. I would rather, I think, at this point, let my kid watch She-Hulk. Like if I had to choose between She-Hulk and Falcon and Winter Soldier, when John Walker was basically brutalizing a guy with a shield, I think I'm more concerned about Falcon and Winter Soldier for my kid
Mhm.
than She-Hulk's twerking.
When was Marvel rated PG? MCU rated PG? Since when was Marvel rated PG? I don't ever was it ever no. It's PG-13. It's not meant for kids, really. The MCU is not meant for kids. It's meant for teenagers and young adults.
For goodness sakes, they're gonna come out with Deadpool 3, which will be rated R.
And these people have this issue like, oh, Disney is meant for kids. There's adults that watch Disney. Like the adults like are into Disney, right? Like it's in the comic books. Comic books are not meant for kids. The actual comic books.
Like, here's the thing. I get it. You don't. It's one thing if you're criticizing how silly the humor is of the show. That's one thing. But when you're
Yeah.
basically saying this is like offensive and comparing this to other controversial projects, to me, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I guess like
Aaron,
to
are you having problems with your mic?
all right, like right. It's right now. Come on, internet.
Oh, it's the internet.
Come on, internet. Come on, internet. Work. I mean, it's connected. Is this? Can you hear me, George?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
before I was just getting one. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, because my internet just like slowed down a bit there. Now it's fine.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Yes.
problems with the mic.
It's no, it's the internet. It's ridiculous how people. It's one thing, like you said, it's one thing to pick the humor, right? It's one thing to criticize the humor, the Marvel stuff, but to pick and choose what to like for stupidest things. And you know what? What did that scene overall do for the story? Nothing. It was just there for fun. Like,
Yeah.
right? It was just there for fun, right?
Yeah, it's like, but like, first of all, we knew this show was gonna be a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy. They look. You and I agree on this, and some of our other friends and colleagues, whatever you want to call them. Marvel does too much comedy, but sometimes when a character is a comedic character, it's fine. Like She-Hulk, it works with She-Hulk.
Yeah. But I would say Phase 4 overall, like with the exceptions of She-Hulk and Thor: Love and Thunder, I feel like Phase 4 has been an overall serious
Yeah.
phase, even though it's been a rebuilding phase. I mean, I'm not saying
Mhm.
it's all been like dark and gritty, but I feel like compared to movies of the past, like most of the projects in this phase have been pretty serious or have dealt with serious
Yeah.
themes.
I think Thor and Love with Thunder has. I think the comedy overshadowed the serious themes in that movie.
Yeah, but again, like I said, other than that and
Yeah.
She-Hulk, I think we've had a good run of serious projects. Like, for goodness sakes, like Black Widow, like the focal point was human trafficking in that film.
Yes, and I'll say this. While I thought Moon Knight was okay, there was some little bit of funny stuff in it, but it was not a lot of comedy in that show.
No, like for goodness sakes, the kid he was abused as a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
a
mean,
good example.
Miss Marvel. Well, here's the thing. I feel like Miss Marvel had a perfect balance of like light and dark. So, like, I guess you can say that might be the exception to not being
Yeah,
overly
because it's
dark or
kids. It
overly
involves the kids.
humor. But again, I felt
Because it
like
involves
it had,
kids.
compared to Thor: Love and Thunder and She-Hulk, it had a pretty good balance.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, so I think Hawkeye had a pretty good balance too of comedy and seriousness in it.
True, but
Too.
again, like Clint was also kind of and Yelena are dealing with like the trauma of Natasha
Mm-hmm.
being
Exactly.
dead and all that. Same thing with WandaVision, trying to like deal with like Vision's death, but in a different way.
I think look, I think everybody wants all the Marvel stuff to be serious the whole way through. No jokes, no comedy, nothing at all. I think that's what people want. This ain't
That
Batman.
that's a bad take though, because to me the
I
best
know.
comic book movies have the perfect balance. You want to know what makes the Spider-Man trilogy, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy so great? It had a great balance of light and dark moments. Like you had your funny moments, but then you had your dark moments that remind you of Raimi's horror films.
Yeah, look, the Batman, for example. Okay, the Batman we saw this year, right? My opinion is the best comic book movie because I think it has the best
The best
writing
of the
of
year,
any.
definitely.
Yeah, so far we'll see what Black Panther do. Hopefully, Black Panther could exceed expectations because that trailer was fire, the first one at least, and I'll probably get a second one probably this weekend maybe. um, but there was a little comedy in the Batman, not a lot, but there's a little bit, tiny bit, in that movie, which I'm fine with, right? I'm fine with that. It's not everything has to be serious. Not everything has to be
Yeah.
Batman related,
Look
right?
at the
Like
Dark Knight trilogy as well. Like the Dark Knight trilogy was dark, but it also had many funny moments, many enjoyable moments.
Joker was like dark comedy.
Yeah, but even then, like
Yeah.
some of the humor from Michael Caine's Alfred was like on point. Like Morgan
Mm-hmm.
Freeman as Lucius Fox, like gave some pretty funny one-liners. Even Christian Bale, when he was in his Bruce Wayne persona, was funny at times.
Yeah.
And it was like not the MCU humor. It was like, oh, like I didn't expect that kind of humor, but
That's
that was funny.
that's that's the problem I have with Superman, Zack Snyder's Superman. There he had no humor, nothing. I don't even remember him making a joke. Did he even make like
I mean,
nothing? He
he
was
had some fun moments, like when he was taking flight the first time. Like that was a fun moment.
yeah, I guess, but like he definitely should be more of a light character, right? Like I know he's
Well,
Wonder
again, we
Woman.
kind yeah, Wonder Woman. That was a movie that had a perfect balance of everything.
Yeah, Aquaman too. Aquaman was like that. He didn't. He is funny. He was funny and in seriousness and serious. I mean, I don't know why these people want every Marvel movie to be serious 100% where there's nothing fun in them. That's boring. I
Well,
know. First up,
remember like what was happening. We used to do the streams on Peacemaker. Remember, we were talking about this as well with the last episode of Peacemaker. Like everyone was like so outraged over the entire show, but it was like they forgot the deeper meanings of the show.
hey, Ankito.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My dudes, my guys, how we
Hey,
doing?
what's up?
Who, who,
Oh,
who,
we're
who's this? Who's this guy? Is this the Liberty Nugget person?
yes, yes, it is.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
Isaac. I'm the George, but I'm the one that introduced Max to the Tubby Nugget.
There's
Isaac is
so
the
many
one.
fucking like Isaacs here. Like Jesus Christ, when do you guys got to change your name?
No, no,
Oh,
no. No, listen. Isaac kept mentioning the word Tubby. I thought of Tubby Nugget, which my supervisor introduced me to, and I
and
was doing
Max
it
didn't
as a
even
joke.
change the name. Max didn't
What
even
is your
change
name?
his
Chubby
name.
Chubby Bunny? Hey, come on, y'all. It's all crazy.
Yeah.
But
So what we're basically, so like,
talking
we're
about
basically like,
She-Hulk.
yeah, we're basically talking for like 10, 15 minutes about how they're picking, choosing what's right or wrong, like the Megan Thee Stallion scene at the end, and compared to other Marvel projects this year, like the orgies, like Zeus mentioning orgies, uh, mentioning Captain America as being a virgin, and She-Hulk having his ass as wallpaper. But
I
no,
have a
when it
question.
comes to
I have a
yeah,
comment here. Were people like angry that the MC wasn't horny enough, and then like when they give you the horny stuff, it's
yeah,
like, oh no, it's too much. It's like guys, you guys got to pick one. Again, I like She-Hulk. I'm not loving it like Miss Marvel or Moon Knight, but it's still like a very pretty solid show to me. But honestly, people are getting like so angry over the dumbest bullshit, and it's the same with the Rings of Power and shit. It's like
mhm,
you guys need to get a real life. Like
Yeah,
I'm
some of
so
these
over
people
this
were.
like complain bullshit. I'm so over it. It's so boring to me. I'm just get over it, y'all.
mhm.
Just get over it. It's real. Stop watching the show. You just stop watching it.
Like the
It's
people that
time to
complain.
stop. It's
The thing
time to
is,
stop.
the people that complain about, they have to watch the show so they can complain
They
about it.
have to. Yeah, it's in
And
their
some of these
DNA.
people were the same
Yeah.
men that were drooling over Scarlett Johansson like the past 10 years as Black Widow.
And I
Hmm.
would even criticize some sexism against in the Black Widow portrayal, actually. But that's just that we can get to that
I
kind of thing later there. But yeah, are we talking about She-Hulk?
yeah.
Yeah.
I like this episode. I thought it was fun. This episode. I thought the abomination, the parole board meeting with with Wong showing up, and I thought the whole parole thing was fun with Abomination and the parole board, and how he has like this group. I wouldn't say they're a groupie, but something similar to a groupie, where he's gonna live with, and I guess he's kind of create a monastery or something like that. Where he can meditate. I guess I don't
Yep.
know. uh, I like that. I like that. I like that. That part. This episode was good. I like the side story with Jennifer Walters' ex dickhead colleague, right? We thought he was really dating Megan Thee Stallion, but was a shapeshifter from New Asgard.
Yeah.
And I love how he won the case. Basically, he won, but his character didn't win. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because
I would agree with that. If there's like one aspect of the show that I really am not really jiving with, it's like that dirty blonde dude with the beard. Like his character is just not working for me. It's just so on the nose and it's just so dumb that that part just to me isn't working. But everything else around that, like again, to me, I feel like this episode really brought it home, the show's true identity, and this is going to be the same tone we're going to be going throughout the whole season, and I really like that. This was probably my favorite episode of the 3 we've seen so far. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
what were your thoughts, George? And Vince,
I
if
mean,
you get your stuff working.
I mean, as far as the overall episode goes, it was nice to see Abomination again. It's also like interesting. We got to know a little bit more about Wong, and one of the things I will appreciate about this show is it feels like of the Phase 4 projects, it's kind of like grown the universe a little bit because like you got like appearances from characters from New Asgard. You got Wong, you got Abomination returning, and eventually Daredevil's gonna appear down the road. Oh, I hate
Yeah, we
to
got
see the
surprised.
reactions when Daredevil appears.
Oh my god, it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be so. High Top is going to have a stroke. Same with Dave the Film Junkie. They're all gonna have like a unanimous stroke when they play the screen.
I'm
There,
gonna take
it's
this
gonna
away.
be
Here.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey Vince, how are you?
It's a boy Vinny. I don't know who Vinny
Here.
is.
He's on Max's channel sometimes. Vince, can you hear us? We can't hear you. Yeah. Is there
Hey, is
He-
that better?
Yeah, that's better. Hey, what's up, Vince?
Yeah, I don't know. I just had the wrong setting for the mic. No, I was gonna say, I just want to pop in real quick and say, all these people that are like going nuts about She-Hulk twerking and all that, it drives me nuts. I'm like, it's just a funny scene.
Yeah, there's no story behind it. Like it's not gonna progress the story of She-Hulk. It's just an after credit scene. Like it's just for fun. Like seriously. It's like
Yeah, and she's
And this
like
is
a
She-Hulk.
wall breaking character
Yeah.
anyway.
this is her character. This is what she is in the comics. It's like
Oh,
And
you
I've
guys
seen
see that thing
people-
in the background.
and yeah, you don't get stuck in a black hole, by the way.
Hey,
but yeah, like
I was gonna ask Aaron. I'm not echoing or anything, am I?
you're a little
I-
bit echoing.
Yeah.
Did you there's a setting on
I think I'm.
StreamYard where
I,
You
I
know,
think I might
speaking
have
of-
figured out.
Speaking of triggering people, I've seen
not
some of
echoing
the
anymore.
the Hobbit actors from the original Lord of the Rings, like saying you're all welcome to your. They're gonna trigger some fandom
Yeah.
menacers.
the Phantom Managers don't know the lore of Lord of the Rings. They think they do. They don't know anything.
No, they
They
just
think-
watch the
they think-
movies and are like, "This is our culture." They're destroying.
They think Galadriel is a Mary Sue. They don't understand Galadriel's been alive for thousands of years. What's she gonna do? Sit, be around for 1,000 years, just have like babies or something? Come on. That's what they think. It's It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how people see. And I think people have issues with Rings of Power because they're comparing it to too much to Game of Thrones or House of Dragon. It's a totally different thing. It's House of Dragon is more of an impact kind of show, where Lord of the Rings builds up to that.
Gotta say, I'm actually really enjoying Rings of Power too. I actually like watching it a little bit more than House of the Dragon. It feels a lot more accessible to me
Yeah,
personally. It's a lot more streamlined, and that's what I like about it.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And what I like about Rings of Power, I mean, if you understand the Lord of the Rings, you understand the House of Dragon, not House of Dragon, this show better. It's maybe it's. I think the setting is beautiful. The it's better than I think it's better than House of Dragon, the setting and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a great show, man. We've had a lot of great shows this fall. There, we've had She-Hulk, we've had Rings of Power. We're getting Cobra Kai season 5. We're getting even that fucking like Cars series looks kind of fun to me. It's been good all around, my dude.
Is Cobra Kai this week or next week?
It's September 9th.
Oh wow, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow, is it?
Did you know
No, that's
that?
Friday.
That's
That's
Friday. What do you
Friday.
think? I know, like, Aaron's like, fuck me, dude. I gotta get on that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. And also, we're getting a Black Adam trailer soon. Oh my god. Okay, dude, I gotta tell you, man, I am dreading. Like, not only is like WB's like whole oh, wait, here's something else here. The Glass Onion trailer releasing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But anyway, I was getting back to the point there. But the whole thing of WB has just been such a fucking disaster. Like with
Now
like
they
Don't Worry
yeah.
Darling and and
No
like stuff like that. It's crazy.
yeah, now everybody thought it was gonna be the heading of DC Studios. It's backed out
Yeah,
now.
that was great. Nobody's like talking about that. That's really bizarre to
I,
me.
I
Like
think it's
nobody's
yeah,
fucking
it
talking
is.
about
I think Zazoff as like Zazoff is
it.
a
He's really fucked
bad.
up, man. He's been really not the greatest. Actually, I'm writing a piece for Next Best Picture podcast that will hopefully be published soon. That I really take a deep dive in what he's been doing at the studio for the
Yo,
last couple of weeks.
if on my like first stream that I did last week, I was like talking about this. I was basically comparing David Zaslav to Phil Jackson when Phil Jackson ran the New York Knicks and like all the bad business decisions that are being made.
Mm-hmm.
For goodness sakes, he's like trading off all this animated stuff, but in reality, he's not getting money. He's just losing money.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
I remember
It's
that,
all
George.
over the place.
When
And like right now, Matt Reeves is basically the only positive thing. Like he's Carmelo Anthony right now.
And also James Gunn also.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
What
But
were you say, Vince?
Oh, I was agreeing with George about the
Oh,
Phil Jackson thing. So, hey, if you could like do me a solid right now and tell me if is it still echoing?
you sound pretty good, my man. You sound pretty good.
it's not
Right.
bad. It's not
I
terrible.
think I figured
It's
out
not-
the issues. Well, I think I figured out the major issues. Like, I do the virtual cam through OBS, and I had like the mic going from there and StreamYard, so I like deleted the mic from OBS, hoping that would fix it. I'm gonna probably pop off anyway because I have to work in like 8 hours, but I wanted to jump on and be like, yeah, I'm tired of these people getting all serious and shit about the She-Hulk thing. It's insane.
Oh yeah, that broke the internet Thursday, right? Like that really broke the internet. Like that's
Hey, and Aaron, you're a football fan, right?
yeah. I'm a football fan.
So what's your favorite team? Like the
Buffalo.
Browns?
No,
I'm
not
kidding.
the Browns.
Oh,
I'm Buffalo.
I'm the Bears. Yeah.
I feel sorry for you.
I'm with NASCAR and baseball guys, so I don't know what any of you guys are talking about.
I'm a
Football,
baseball.
right?
I'm actually a baseball fan first.
Hey,
Baseball's my favorite sport.
Nobody cares
I'm a
about
White
NASCAR.
Sox and a Bears fan. Please Please
I'm a
feel sorry
Cubs
for
guy
him.
and also a Mariners guy.
You got a good team. Mariners are good.
Yeah, they usually fall apart, but yeah.
But
But
they're the only sports North American team in any of the four major sports never to make the playoffs in the last 20
yep,
years.
it's crazy, right?
They're gonna make it this year. It's gonna break.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
It's amazing. That's hard to do. Honestly, that's hard to do. But baseball at one point it's hard to get into the playoffs, right? Because it's not like basketball or hockey where you have 8 teams in each playoffs.
Also, you
But
have so
now,
many games to like
Let's say
play.
yeah,
Definitely.
I'm just happy.
it's
I'm
6
just
now, so it's gonna be a little bit
yeah,
easier.
a little bit easier. I'm just happy next season is starting. Interleague play is completely gone. Now every team plays every team. I'm just happy with that. It's about time because like
Hey, me too.
so every
I might actually be able to see some White Sox teams in St. Louis.
yeah yeah. Like that. Every team plays every team next year. That's great. I love that because you know what? You're depriving fans from players, like star players that you don't see every year. So it's just smart. It's just smart to do it every. Like, for example, I mean Aaron Judge, right? I think Aaron Judge is given MVP. I'm pretty sure people in National League cities besides New York or like Atlanta want to see Aaron Judge, right? Like St. Louis, the Cubs. They want to see that. It's good. It's good for the game. Because baseball as a sport that the attendance is struggling, overall sports is struggling. Like in terms of attendance, it's all about money from TV.
Yeah, man, it's kind of tarnished the game. But anyway, I want to get back to the movie stuff there. But
Yeah,
holy shit, dude! The David Zaslav stuff's been pretty wild, and it keeps coming, dude. Like that Dan Lin thing, like nobody's talking about it. It's really odd, Just kind of came and went.
yeah.
I noticed that a certain nation keeps worshiping the ground that David Zaslav stands on when Zaslav hasn't even done anything positive.
It's like
You think
why?
Zal's? Oh, there, Vince. You think Zal's going to do anything with Snyder? Snyder's stuff is expensive.
Hell no.
Zaslav
Hell
is
no.
cheap. He's cheap.
We're worried. We're worried about what he's gonna do to the good stuff that's came post Snyder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's. I just think he's Zaslav. Like this, the Zaslav just doesn't have a good reputation. I think he hasn't really handled a major studio like this, right? Like Warner Bros. Is different from
He's
Discovery,
But
yeah,
he-
because you're actually doing it with like actual creatives and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's been crazy. It's just been a really odd series of events over there, and it's been really crazy. I don't
I
know, man. And also that don't worry, darling, like Venice premiere was like it was like a sight to be seen. Like holy shit.
that's not good. That's not good for Warner Brothers.
no, because
That's not.
that's the first of 2 movies that are supposed to come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
It's.
the whole thing's pretty awkward, especially because
I
like
mean,
a lot of my coworkers, I know they love Harry Styles, but it's like there's something weird going on with this movie and what
I
happened
mean,
on set.
they should put somebody on set just to make sure everything is a well-oiled machine. If they see something wrong, say something. Like you need good management. Like it's like I know you guys are not wrestling fans, but if you know there's something major going on in wrestling, AEW right now is huge, and their show is on Warner Brothers, like on TBS. And who is TBS owned by? Discovery and TNT. It's to me, you need somebody who's like who needs somebody who's to be probably on set to make sure everything is well. You don't have to like each other, right? Like any workplace, you don't have to like each other, but you might have to work together. But you have to put your differences aside to make something work. And it just seems like that would. But I don't get the spitting thing, right? Chris Pine seems like the innocent one out of this because there's all I talk about that movie, and that seems like more of Olivia Wilde, Florence Pugh, and Shia LaBeouf, and Harry Styles, but nothing about Chris Pine or Gemma Chan. It was all about those other actors in it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm pretty sure Chris Pine seems like the kind of dude that that's pretty quiet, but like will seem internally bothered by other stuff and will hold it in. Like you see, like how his reaction when Harry Styles was like talking like earlier in the day, and it looked like Chris Pine lost his soul. No, but here's the thing. Sometimes attitude starts at the top. And if the director has a poor attitude, which it seems like this director did have, I mean, considering how she tried getting Shia LaBeouf to come back on the film despite the allegations, despite Florence Pugh feeling uncomfortable about it, and the fact that she referred to Florence as Miss Flo, sometimes like that kind of attitude from your leader, that will spread and that will
Um,
determine how this whole thing's gonna go.
And that's not even
it's all.
diving into like the whole Harry Styles element of it, with like you like literally like spit on like Chris Pine.
Mhm.
Yeah, and people like they're
It,
like denying that that happened, but it's like, dude, it's like we fucking see it, dude.
Something
there's
happened.
video. There's
There's
evidence.
fucking
Like,
video.
yeah. Deny everything you want. There's a video. I mean, like, I think if I was Marvel or if I was Sony and Marvel, I'd be questioning about letting Olivia Wilde direct a Spider Woman movie after this
I
is
think
coming out.
there's a reason why that film was kind of shelved and they moved on with Madam Web for their female let's Sony Spider-Man film or Sony Marvel film. I think they were aware that of Olivia Wilde's behavior.
Yeah, I mean,
Because let's
it's not
be real
good.
here. What would be more in demand, a Spider-Woman film or a Madam Web film?
Spider
A Spider,
Woman.
yeah. But again, they're moving on with this, and again, it's not just because that they got the whole Spider-Verse thing going on, the multiverse thing going on, but also like I think they're aware that Olivia Wilde has this weird behavior.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that. I think she got a little too cocky on this film, and it's just kind of like bled over.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought her film Booksmart was a little overrated. Like it was enjoyable, but it
I
was a
actually really
little
like that film.
overrated. I mean,
Actually,
I enjoyed it, but like it wasn't the funniest comedy that I've seen. Like they were making it out to be.
Mm-hmm. What was I gonna say? Oh crap! I mean, and people are giving shit for The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, for like promoting his movie. I'm like, guys, Black Adam's his passion project from like
And
a
he's got
decade ago.
and like this is it for WB. Like they need this for this year. They need this film to have a strong box office.
holy shit, yeah. And actually, Grace Randolph has been like really hard on Black Adam. It's been kind of
Well,
crazy.
Grace Randolph's been cranky since Jessica Chastain won an Oscar. I mean, for goodness sake, she blocked poor Max.
She's been unhinged. I've been noticing she's been very unhinged. She's been negative a lot this past few months, like really negative.
This whole year, ever since Jessica Chastain won her Oscar, I feel like she's gotten cranky. Like she snapped at Snyder fans, even though I feel like she was an enabler of this fandom at the
What
beginning.
did she blame this executive what's his name, Dan Lin
On Snyder
on the Snyder
fans.
fans?
I mean, then that might play a role, but I feel like there's other things that play a role in it, such as like budget, other projects that Dan Lin is producing.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with DC movies. I know Joker, for example, had $100 million budget, which is, but for DC movies, and I know Zaslav is cheap, but if you're gonna make DC movies that involve characters that have a lot of fantasy based elements like magic, aliens, space, that stuff, you're gonna need to spend a lot of money, as much as Marvel does on their stuff. And Zaslav is not willing to do that. I mean, for Batman related stuff, you could get away with it because you really don't need CGI for Batman stuff because
Yeah, totally. We need a little bit, but like not as much as like something like Superman.
yeah.
But you know
Well,
what's
for
been crazy?
Superman, you do. Superman and Wonder Woman, you kind of do.
Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah.
definitely would agree with it. But you know what's been crazy? It's like all this like shit about like, is Henry Cavill coming back? Is Henry Cavill going to be in the thing? It's like KC was like saying something a couple of days ago, but then he's like been backtracking it kind of weirdly. Again, I am a big fan of KC. We talk a lot. He's a really great script, but man, I don't know. It's been all crazy, dude. Just everybody, I don't know. Like nobody knows what the hell's going on. And I think
I
that
love
Dan Lin thing was like a big blow to WB, and it sucks because again, I think he would have been a great choice for DC, but
He
I think
wanted
that,
to he
Yeah.
wanted to be involved in DC.
yeah, but I
He
think
was going to do Justice League Mortals. Remember that movie? That was going to set off the universe. Justice League Mortals. They would have Armie Hammer as Batman.
Here's what I feel like, and this pertains to not just DC. It pertains to like She-Hulk and Rings of Power. I feel like Twitter, like people think like Twitter has become the majority
But it's not.
say in opinions. Like these people who like to rant about all this stuff. The pro Snyder channels, the geeks and gamers of the world. They think they don't know what's really out there outside of the internet. They're stuck in a bubble, and they
Yes.
think that this bubble is the majority opinion. And they cling to that. Like I see people clinging to Elon Musk not liking Rings of Power. It's like, so what if Elon Musk liked the show?
Elon Musk
Yeah,
is crazy
Elon
anyway.
Musk. I mean, who really cares about what Elon Musk thinks
But
about?
I'm just saying, like these people cling to him for an opinion on Rings of Power. They are clinging to people saying on the internet Tony Stark
No.
died for She-Hulk to twerk, or they're saying Stan Lee is rolling in his grave. It's like Stan Lee would have been doing this with them.
Stan Lee would have laughed at this.
He would have. Stan Lee
Yeah.
was in Mallrats, that raunchy Kevin Smith film from 1995.
Yeah, they don't know Stan Lee at all for saying that, because Stan Lee would love this stuff.
Yeah, Stan Lee speaks out against people like them.
Yes, he does. Some of the comic book characters that he created was technically woke before woke was even around. You know?
Yeah, he was creating like he was creating characters that people said, no, this ain't gonna be popular with audiences, but Stan didn't care,
Yeah.
and they turned out to be popular.
Yeah, exactly. Those people are in that fandom. They just want their old ways to be like. They just want things to be like their old ways. Whereas maybe it's easier for them back in the past. Whatever, I don't know. They have a narrow, narrow mindset, and they don't see what the world is really like. And
then they get offended when you go after them, saying, "Oh, you think you're better than us?" It's like none of us are saying that, but just understand what the world is turning into, what the country is turning into. Like, understand the change that is happening before us. Like that's what they don't understand. They don't understand that the MCU is changing, that they are exploring other characters, including female characters.
Do you know how many movies in MCU before Phase 4 were female led?
Only 2.
Yes, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? Technically,
Black Widow,
God.
Captain Marvel,
it's Black Widow.
and Captain
Black
Marvel.
Widow's considered Black Widow. Is that considered Phase 4, Phase 3? I mean, it does take place in the past.
But I mean, like in reality, Ant-Man and the Wasp, that was like it was really still more of Scott Lang's movie.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
So like in reality, Captain Marvel, like before Phase 4, was the only female-led movie, and then like in Phase 4, you got Black Widow.
You had to get a Captain Marvel at least in the MCU like at one point, because like she's like the most popular. Well, I wouldn't say she's the most popular, but she's like upper tier MCU Marvel character. She's definitely now we're getting a bunch of female led characters because there's female heroes in the comics.
But again, they just missed the mark on everything, these guys.
And the MCU has, I've said this, the MCU has used all the top Marvel heroes from the comics, like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, the Guardians, all the top most popular Marvel characters. I mean, they don't have Sentry or Hyperion, but they're not like in those guys' level, right?
Yeah.
Where the female side, they haven't yet. And the X-Men they couldn't use. They couldn't use X-Men for a while. Now they can whenever they decide to use them.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at the slate, and it's like there's still more male-led MCU projects coming forward in Phase 5 and 6 as of right now than there are female.
Yeah.
And listen, when Fantastic Four comes around, 3 of those members are men. But again, they're going to twist the narrative of, let's say, one of those characters is played by a person of color by saying the movie's still going to be woke.
Oh, I don't think anybody's gonna. I don't think anybody.
I don't think that either. But
I'm.
I'm saying in case something like that does happen.
I mean, so according to John Campbell, who says he's not a scooper. Like every time he says he's not a scooper, but he says
And they like drop scoops. It's like John, just
Yeah.
like quit playing the double side. Like John Campion's takes as of late have been really odd. They like even he was like, oh man, that whole Dan Lin thing was like such a blow. It's like, yeah, dude. You know, maybe
Mhm.
that Batgirl thing wasn't.
I
the
trust
greatest thing in the
Campia
world.
more than Grace Randolph, though. Like I feel like there's a difference between John Campia and Grace Randolph. To me, I feel like John Campia is
Go
the
ahead.
guy that will buy you a beer at the bar and like talk movies about you for a good long time, and you'll have a nice conversation even though you'll have disagreement. Grace, I feel like, will go unhinged and hate your opinion.
You know,
Yeah, so
she's been like going crazy with the Henry Cavill stuff too. You know, she's like,
Mhm.
oh, Henry Cavill's been for this, Henry Cavill's been for that. It's like,
Who is he? Campia, I think, says they pretty much gonna be Cormer as Sue Storm. He says he's here for
I would take it for a grain of salt, but that would be a good choice if it was.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious what they're gonna get for Reed.
Yeah, and I know. I'm sorry, people. I don't think Krasinski is going to be Mr.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
no,
Be
dude,
Mr.
he's
I don't
definitely out.
think so
He's too
either.
busy with like other projects.
It's a fan casting. That's all. The writer admitted it was a fan casting. That was a fan casting. That's what Marvel does. That's what MCU does. They do fan castings. That was just a fan casting. It's So I don't expect John Krasinski on Saturday, right? And it's not just like Saturday. It's not just a Marvel Studios. It's all three.
It's gonna be Pixar. It's gonna be Disney. It's gonna be Lucasfilm. It's gonna be. I'm curious about Pixar and 20th Century Studios, and also another thing that I'm pretty interested in also is actually because that's the same day and TIFF's that same day too, and then the Fableman's gonna be having its world premiere on the same day, so we're gonna have like a bunch of movie news.
I live near TIFF. I mean, I'm in Toronto.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Can you sneak? Wait. I live in Washington, so we could like sneak into the festival, dude. Aaron and non-Kino break the festival.
Oh yeah, I used to go to college downtown Toronto. Was not very far from TIFF. Yeah, I know. Knives 2 is being played out at TIFF before it comes out in December. I know that. Weird Al is at TIFF. The Brandon Fraser movie is at TIFF. I know that for a fact. I know this. I could send you a schedule if you just want to see it.
I'm okay, but yeah. But speaking of other like film news and stuff like that, what are you guys expecting for that new Black Adam trailer? Because there's a lot riding on that trailer, man. Like again, because as like George said, it cannot be understated how much WB needs that movie to like hit. Well, it has to make $700 million or like at the very least 600 million. It does not have to make $1 billion, but it has to be pretty darn successful. And I do hope that it is because again, I love The Rock. I think if there's anybody that you can place your bets on, it's Dwayne Johnson. But you know, fuck Matt Jarbo's opinion on him. I think it's so great. I mean, like Matt Jarbo has kind of been an asshole to me the last couple of days. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm super annoying, but I don't know. Like he's got to see some of the people he puts on this channel. But anyway, no more beef. No more beef. I promise.
I love Matt Jarbo. I strongly disagree with him on Black Adam.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's gonna pop up in the chat here.
I mean,
it's like,
The Rock did save the Fast and Furious franchise.
He did. He also saved the Jumanji franchise. He did San Andreas. I think
the problem is Matt Jarbo has issues with The Rock. Because nothing makes $1 billion with The Rock. The thing is, The Rock does a lot of movies. He does like 3 or 4 movies a year. It's amazing. And I you know what? I give him credit for surprising a bunch of people at the testing for the Black Adam a couple of days ago. Then nobody noticed him. I'm like, how can you not notice a well-built toned man like in the theater? How can you not notice that? Like, I'm pretty sure we would notice. Unless it's John
Lovely.
Cena, where you can't see. Yeah, I hopefully. I don't think we're gonna see the villain. I know who the villain is. We all know who the villain is. It's Sabak. I mean, the Black Adam merchandise is already out. I know I read the merchandise from the action figures in the Funkos. The action figures are out, but the Funkos are coming out very soon. I know that for a fact. It,
Yeah, I've seen Black Adam figures. Unfortunately, like it was a choice between that and a Darth Vader figure, and I was like, I will probably never see a Darth Vader figure in all the other stores, so I'm just gonna buy this for right
Oh.
now.
yeah, I mean, the Rock has Black Adam in October. I don't know what other films in there, but like November, like we'll see how it'll probably be like the number one film till like sometime in November when Black Panther comes out, and then I personally think there's a good chance Marvel's gonna have not Marvel, but Disney's gonna have $2 billion movies in early 2023. That's gonna be Black Panther because it's gonna still be in theaters and probably in January, like all Marvel movies, and Avatar.
Well,
I think-
I will say this: Black Adam has a huge leg up because Halloween Ends is also going to be on Peacock at the same time.
I know the grass.
So
Does
let's.
anybody really
so
care
I
about
think-
Halloween Ends though? Like, does anybody really care?
No.
There's some.
So
I think
bad.
there's still some people that do care, but I feel like
But that's
it's
going to
like now-
Peacock. But that's
Yeah,
going
it's
on
going to
Peacock,
Peacock.
also. Yes, Degrassi. I know this is a fact because the figures came out like a couple weeks ago. That's stupid. Don't release the merchandise two or 3 months before the movie comes out. That's a stupid idea.
Aaron, there's some stores that have Across the Spider-Verse toys already out. And
Batman,
that
yeah.
movie's not coming out until like March, I think.
Yes,
I
Lego does it a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But I do. Does Lego actually? Does the Black Adam have Lego sets? By
I'm
the
not
way,
sure. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think it should though, because again, the Batman does. I mean, if the Batman does, I mean, why the fuck can't Black Adam have Lego sets? I'm just curious how they're gonna have like Flash merch of like Ezra Miller just plastered all over it, like a bunch of like little mini Ezra Miller figures just like being sold at like Target or something. That's gonna be like kind of funny to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, like, I'm looking forward to the Flash. Like I've heard the movie is great. I do like Ezra Miller as Barry Allen as the Flash, but man, that PR thing is going to be such hell, such hell.
Hopefully, since it's getting help and he recognizes that because they said they're gonna pull the movie. That was an ultimatum to him. That was basically an ultimatum.
Yeah,
So hopefully
Thank
he's
you for
getting
that,
help. And, yeah.
yeah.
He got a
but-
year, right, to clean up his image.
Yeah.
They got until June 23rd, but like even then, I'm not even sure that if since like considering the fact that like literally literally the fact that like literally Shazam and Aquaman have been like so fluid in their dates, I wouldn't be shocked if like the Flash gets pushed back again.
Oh, I love it.
Well, here's the thing that I'm thinking for next year. So I feel like, from what the rumors sound like, David Zaslav is very high on this Flash film.
Yep.
I have a feeling Flash, no matter how good it is not going to do that well in the box office because of Ezra Miller's behavior. I think Shazam: Fury of the Gods will do better than the first film in the box office. I think Aquaman has the potential to make $1 billion again. Blue Beetle, because I think that film's currently coming out in August, that might do fairly well since it's like the only major film coming out in August.
Any more rumors about Blue Beetle? Because like last month, like there was, in case he could like collaborate with this, it's like there was like literally like a bunch of like drama of like 1/4 of the movie not being finished.
I think that's been debunked, or they've kind of like shut down those rumors.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
All I remember about the last thing I heard about Blue Beetle was like the shooting there, whatever, and how they're filming in a crime-ridden area. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Some like post-credit scene shooting this week, I believe. It's like a quick couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, Black Panther are doing that. Yeah, for like a week, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just for like a week or so. Nothing too big. I've heard the movie is like really good, from what
I
I've
hope
heard.
so.
I really hope so, man. Because again, I love Doctor Strange and I liked Thor, but this one needs to be like a real crowd pleaser.
This has to hit. Because I like Thor a little bit, but Thor, even though it made good money, the reception to that movie overall was not positive.
It was. I feel like it has a lower I think it has a lower Rotten Tomato score than Dark World.
And
which is
if
crazy. to me.
yeah,
I
if
think
Black
that-
Panther, I think if Black Panther does not hit, that's a big bullet to the MCU.
yeah.
Well, I feel like overall, well, I mean, we shouldn't care about Rotten Tomato scores, but I feel like, to me, for this film to, I think, reassure audiences, like, I feel like it's got to at least hit in the 80s Rotten Tomato score wise.
Yeah, I believe with that. I think that'd be good.
What
I
was
think
what was
I-
It
Black
doesn't
Panther
have to
1?
be as good as the first film, but it was like in the like high 90s.
yeah.
Yeah, because
I,
Like,
I
it
to be
doesn't
like
have
that.
to be as big as the first film, but at least be like, it's got to like hit with at least like 80% of those Rotten Tomato critics.
absolutely. I do think it will hit. And then plus also it has Black Adam coming out like 2 weeks beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see about that. I don't know why they moved it to like. Why can't they like just you think about Black Adam? That I wish. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry if I'm walking out there, but the thing that I kind of think Black Adam should have done is that they should have like put Black Adam like in like the first week of October, something like that. Like not as like on the crowd thing because they should have been like the big blockbuster out of the gate, sort of like Venom or Joker. But they kind of pushed it to like mid October, which I'm kind of like a little like confused by. It's like really that's the place you're gonna put it. I don't know. It was a little odd to me.
At least they were smart to move Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam needed
Yeah.
all the help it can get there because I do think Shazam's going to do very well in that spot there. I don't think Grace thinks it will, but I do think it will do quite well.
Oh.
But yeah,
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
because here's the thing, Shazam, the problem that the first Shazam film had was it came out like real close in between two big MCU movies.
Well, yes, it
That-
can be Endgame,
it should've-
Endgame, and Spider-Man. Yeah.
It should have came out in August when I think there was less competition and you could have made more money, similar to the 2016
Yeah, there's no MCU then.
Suicide Squad and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like those two movies, part of their success was due to being August release date films.
Yeah.
yep, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I am kind of curious to see like how Avatar does and stuff like that, and also we got we have a great slate of awards films this year. Also, it's like probably like the first like year of like awards films that I'm actually excited for.
I'm
most of
excited
them-
for was it Babylon?
Babylon, The Fableman, The Whale. It's gonna be a good year for films, dude. Yeah,
Brandon Fraser's making a comeback.
yeah.
Yo,
I
I'm
gotta
so
say,
excited for that.
Yeah,
No,
it's crazy.
nothing better for a good guy. Brandon Fraser deserves this comeback.
I need to look into
The
my
Batgirl stuff hurts. That though. That
Yeah, the
hurts.
Batgirl stuff definitely hurt, and I wonder how. Okay, and also like during the Flash press thing, like, do you think how many questions are gonna be centered towards Keaton about the Batgirl thing?
He should let it all loose once he gets interviewed. Just let it all loose. Say his frustrations. Let it all out.
I need to look into my the new Alamo Draft House theater that opened by me because I think one of the old films that they're going to be showing is the first Mummy film with Brendan Fraser, and that's like a childhood classic for me, but I never saw it in the theaters. I gotta look into that
Mm-hmm.
because like I would love to see the Mummy on the big screen. Like I love the Mummy.
But Doom Patrol, Doom Patrol. He plays Cliff Lobot Man. He's very good in that show. That's a good show. But he was supposed to play Firefly, right? In the Batgirl.
Yo, I was looking forward to
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy, really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What
sad.
D23 announcements you guys think
Dude.
are going to say? I know the Fantastic Four one's going to be a big one, but I want the Wonder Man one. That to me is a show that I am very.
That's gonna be announced.
I'm
Yeah.
curious
That's
to
gonna be
see
announced.
if they're gonna announce Shang-Chi 2 at D23.
Yes, I think so too.
Has a lot
Shang-Chi
of
2,
projects on his.
Because
Internals too.
of the two movies that have actually done that were fantastic in Phase 4, it was Spider-Man No Way Home and Shang-Chi, which Shang-Chi was the big surprise of Phase 4. Like
Yeah.
I'm curious to see like what the sequel is gonna be like, and is that gonna like tie into Kang Dynasty because the director is also directing that film.
Yep, definitely. But I also will say this. I think Matt Shankman is such a fantastic choice for the Fantastic Four. I think he's a really good choice.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I'm
This
not-
is his first movie, right? This is his
yeah,
first
it's
movie.
actually
right?
a second movie, but he's done like a lot of like
TV shows.
prestige
Yeah.
television, and he's actually like done a Marvel project before, so I think we're in good hands there. But yeah, I'm just
Yeah, I
kind of
mean, we have to be. If they fail in Fantastic Four, Marvel
I'm-
MCU is going to really hear it.
I'm
Like,
gonna be
you
honest.
they can't afford to fail Fantastic Four. They can't afford that.
no,
I'm gonna be-
he's very invested in that movie. Kevin Feige, he's
Mhm.
very super in that.
I
one.
think
But
we're
yeah,
going to get Eternals 2. Definitely Eternals 2. Shang-Chi 2.
I'm not so sure about Eternals 2, but I
I-
do think Moon Knight 2 is a possibility.
I see
I think-
Eternals 2 being that film that's scheduled in between both Avenger movies.
And
Well,
here's something
Hercules.
else.
The Hercules stuff.
I do think we will. I do think we will get a Secret Invasion trailer. Like Daniel RPK confirmed that.
Yeah.
I'm
Secret
gonna make
Invasion.
predictions for the release date. So I think there's like a MCU movie coming out in 2025 for Kang Dynasty. I think that's gonna be Shang-Chi 2 or Deadpool 3. Maybe
Deadpool
Shang-Chi
3.
2 will be the February 2024 release date, or Deadpool 3. I'm not sure yet. I think Eternals 2 will come out in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I think they're not going to have the Eternals appear in Kang Dynasty, and their appearance in Eternals 2 will connect to Secret Wars.
I want a Doctor Strange 3 announcement of Sam Raimi, motherfuckers. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Yeah.
here's the
Did a
thing.
great job with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Like that is probably the best directed film of Phase 4 in my humble opinion.
I loved Multiverse of Madness, despite the mixed thoughts people have. Like that was probably my third favorite film of Phase 4.
Yeah. Do you guys think that that's become like the new BVS of a Marvel?
What, Doctor Strange?
Yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I don't know.
I would think
I don't think so.
Eternals is more like that. That's got more mixed thoughts, I think,
No.
than Multiverse of Madness.
No, Eternals. I don't know. I don't know what the movie. I don't know.
It's pretty crazy.
It's really kind of hard to determine. I will say that a lot of people are looking at Doctor Strange as like the multiverse saga's Tony Stark. So hopefully he doesn't get offed in Secret War.
Yeah, I am a big fan of Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange, and but there's also been
Same here.
rumors that Henry Cavill might be in talks to like some like Marvel role. I'm not so sure how true those things are because again, like there's just so much shit with Henry Cavill that he's like attached to, but just don't happen. Like it's
Yo,
really bizarre, though.
You know that Oprah Winfrey meme where like they say you're gonna be in this, you're gonna be that. How about Henry Cavill's gonna return as
You get a
Superman?
Henry
He's
Cavill.
gonna be in
You
House
get a
of Dragons. He's gonna be in Marvel.
Henry Cavill
He's gonna be
said-
in everything. He's gonna be
Henry
James
Cavill
Bond.
said. Henry Cavill says if he was in the MCU, he wants to be Captain Britain. And he also said if there's if Mass Effect was happening, he would want to be Captain Shepard. He's interested in almost everything. That's
Honestly, you know
nerd-like.
what I think he would be a perfect fit for? Wonder Man. He would be a fantastic Wonder Man. He can make fun of his Superman time being in Superman. It would be fucking glorious.
I mean, Superman is in the MCU. They do mention him. Ah,
Yeah, but he would be a perfect fit for that. Just saying. But
yeah.
any other Disney Plus things you guys excited for? Because we got Cars on the road tomorrow. We got Pinocchio. We got Thor Up and
do
Thunder.
you think we're gonna announce a Star Wars movie?
Maybe.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the question. What's going on with Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman 3?
Yeah, what is
Because-
going on with that?
Because
That is
the
actually very
thing is, it's like I feel like there's more progress being made with that than there is Rogue Squadron.
I think Rogue Squadron is pretty much dead in the water, and I'm not even sure Wonder Woman 3 might happen in the way that some people are saying. I don't know, man.
I think
David
it's still going to
Zaslav-
happen. I think it's just a matter of how they're going to approach the film after how Wonder Woman 1984 got a mixed response.
Yeah, and I actually don't even hate Wonder Woman 1984 that much. I actually quite enjoyed it a lot more than the first film, in my humble opinion. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to get shredded for that take, but that's just me. Everybody's like paused for a second. It's like you liked Wonder Woman 1984. What's wrong?
I mean, I got meh thoughts on it.
Yeah, you know. But
I like the-
yeah. Yeah, how well do you guys think Aquaman 2 is going to be? I'm curious for that because like it's been pushed back a lot. Like, do you guys think it will like deliver the goods? Do you think Jason Momoa? Do you think James Wan can like really kind of like?
I think
I trust
think it's
James
a-
Wan. So I think like it's gonna be good at least.
I think it was a mistake to move it all the way to Christmas because if Avatar 3 comes out that same month, the same
It's gonna
time.
coming out in 2024, not 2023.
Oh, okay.
So
Then
yeah, don't worry
this,
about that. But there is another project out there that I think it should be worried about. It's Ghostbusters, and definitely not Star Trek 4 because Star Trek 4 is not happening. That they've been trying to get that movie done for years.
they just
The
lost a
cast
director.
didn't even know it was
It
gonna
lost the
happen.
director, and they couldn't get the cast together. It's always the same fucking
What?
bullshit. That
The cast was blindsided by the announcement. They're like, "What? I didn't know about this." I remember that.
I know this is more Sony related. Do you guys think like that a fourth Tom Holland Spider-Man film will happen before King Dynasty or after?
we shall see about that. I'm not so sure about what's going on with Tom Holland stuff. He's kind of like trying to take a break from acting. He's done like a lot of projects outside of Spider-Man. Like he did Onward. He's done Devil All the Time. He's done that movie with Days Really. I actually really liked Cherry. I think he's a good actor. I think he's done a lot of good stuff there, but I think he wants to take a break. There's another thing that he's also attached to. I think it's coming out this fall. It's this great Apple TV Plus series called The Crowded Room, where he's playing this guy with a couple of mental things. But as for Spider-Man, I think it's going to depend like the deal between Sony and him for like Uncharted and Spider-Man. Because again, Uncharted did quite well because of Tom Holland. Like that movie,
Yeah.
success is equated to Tom Holland. That movie really
No Way
kind of
Home for sure.
big star. You know,
I didn't see Uncharted, but like it did get a positive audience
I think
reaction.
they're gonna make
compared
a
to most
sequel to
video game
that.
projects.
I think
they
they're
are
gonna make a
definitely
sequel.
making a sequel to it. They are 100% making a sequel to it. They just got to get the negotiations down for both that and the Spider-Man stuff. Because again, if he's able to get those two franchises working really well, like they're like both received well, I think Holland's gonna be an all-star, man. He's gonna be great. You know?
He's gonna be the opposite of Ezra Miller. Because here's the thing: Ezra was the guy for Warner Brothers with Fantastic Beasts and the Flash, and now it's like, are they gonna be out? While meanwhile, Tom Holland's become like the golden boy for Sony.
George, I do think the thing with the Fantastic Beasts, I do think the third movie was always Ezra Miller's ending arc.
Oh
for
yeah,
his
that
character.
I believe so as
Yeah.
well. But again, I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna ask him to come back for any other projects
I don't think
beyond
there's going to be any more
Fantastic
Fantastic
Beasts
Beasts projects.
and DC, because again, they can always ask him to come back for other franchises or for like independent films, but they're looking at their behavior and they're probably gonna say, do we really want them to come back?
Yeah, we'll see. Like I think the jury's still out on that though, because again, like that meeting they had with like Luke DeMuca and Pam Abdi seemed to sort of go quite well there, and I think there is a slim chance that they might return. I'm sorry, them. I apologize. That was a mistake. There is a pretty slim chance that they might return back as the Flash, but you know, there is still a chance.
But my problem is that
if he gets his act together and doesn't get into trouble, yeah, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
My issue is that Ezra was not worried about any of this until they threatened to cancel the Flash film.
Yeah.
Apparently Ezra did not care about the headlines and all that. But once they said, okay, we're probably going to have to cancel this movie, that's when they start panicking and say, okay, we got to clean this up. You got to care about the way people perceive you, because how are you going to get work not just with Warner Brothers, but with other companies? Like, will these studios want that baggage if you're not taking this seriously?
Yeah, crazy,
I think he does have other projects coming out.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, right? It's been pretty crazy about that. But I do think the Flash movie is going to be great, though. I do believe WB has a lot of faith in it. And, you know, we'll find out, like, how well it does in next June. But I'm just curious about, like what's going to happen with the Batman and also Superman and stuff like that. Because, again, I don't know, because Matt Reeves is like gonna be their golden boy for quite a while with not just Batman but like other aspects there, And then, like, do you guys think Dwayne Johnson? Do you think he will have a big career at DC if the movie does well, or do you think this might be a one and done?
I think
I
he'll
think
be another project.
he'll be another project. He'll be in at least a Shazam project.
Yeah,
But
Shazam
he's not.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I
See,
could see that.
and I'm just not understanding this obsession with Black Adam versus Superman. It's like, what about Black Adam versus Shazam?
Yeah,
He's
it's
not,
really
he's not a Superman villain. He's a Black Adam. He's a Shazam villain.
Exactly. Exactly. This obsession, it's like all it's doing is just pushing the narrative that Henry Cavill may or may not return. Listen, I'm seeing Sill right now is banking on Henry Cavill's Superman being in Black Adam. We are gonna see in a month if this guy is full of it or not.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't really think I don't think it should I don't think the movie should like be hinged on whether or not Henry Cavill shows up. I think it should be hinged on if the movie is a good movie.
No, I'm
Again,
saying like the credibility of Sill
I thought you were
is
talking about
on
like
the
the
line
movie.
right now with this appearance happening that he is claiming.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
Black
He can
Adam
hang
can
his
still
own
be a
way.
great movie with or without an appearance from Henry Cavill. I'm just talking about the credibility of not just Sill, but some of these other scoopers who
Don't
are banking on it.
I have a
don't
question.
go.
Didn't like Skywalker have like this like thing with like Dave the Film Junkie? And I'm not the biggest fan of Dave the Film Junkie. I think he kind of gets kind of annoying after a while. But like, wasn't there like this like weird stream where like he was with Zod Rider and like they were like all trashing like Chris Pong and Film Gob? And again, I don't like Film Gob or Dave Junkie, but why drag Chris Pong into this, my guys? Come on, leave it alone.
Those guys are just bitter
I don't
conspiracy theories.
really pay attention
Yeah.
to those guys. Like, listen, like I've seen Skywalker on a few times, and I don't know, like he just comes in very assertive towards the other panelists from what I've seen.
He's aggressive.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's like the thing is like no one's like being rude or nasty or anything, but he's going in here like thinking everyone's against him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't pay attention to those guys. I kind of like out of the
Yeah.
loop. I mean, I know about still here and there, but I'm kind of like I don't go at them anymore. I'm done with that. I'm like I don't
Yeah,
need
it's
that stuff.
I
crazy.
try I try to ignore it as best as I can, but like when I see people sharing it, it's like, okay, what is he claiming now? Like I'm because it's like
And now there's what's this? Didn't did Sil George didn't like Max have show us like Sil said they're doing reshoots on the Flash again or something like that? I
I
don't
didn't
know.
I
Yeah,
didn't Max's stream was on too so late last night that I fell asleep and I didn't
Yeah.
even know he was streaming until I woke up at like 2 in the morning. Like here's the thing, I was on Max's
Oh
show
no.
on Monday.
No. Okay, no. Well, last night was before because we're gonna end this soon because I'm a little tired here and take a little bit of a nap. We were watching a stream. Oh, Sil says, "Oh, Zack Snyder's talking with DC because he's in the T Titans Go thing. So there's so that means they're talking." I'm like, no, that just means
No.
that's where that's yeah, that's not how it works.
But I think even Max is starting to realize
Oh
how
yeah,
like full of it like Sill is, like how much of his bluff.
I I I'm telling you, I was telling you, Max is gonna realize that he's gonna
He's
wake
been
up
I
and
think
realize.
he has been like realizing it. He's been more critical of him.
But it's RJ. It's the other. It's got to the other side though.
Oh my goodness! But
it's crazy,
well,
dude. There's so
here's the
much
thing, because
crazy drama with
Yeah.
DC stuff, especially if DC scoopers, man. It's always so fucking crazy. And again, I am both a Marvel and DC fan. I like both. I'm not. I don't choose one over the other. It's
Yeah.
so this
yeah, same
weird
I
here.
hate
I'm
divide.
not
that. I hate
picking
that.
sides.
I hate how people. Oh, you gotta choose one over another. I'm like,
I
why?
don't give a shit, dude. These are fucking
Yeah.
like all corporate IP shit. Like, get over it.
Hmm.
It's
George,
like these are fictional characters. Listen, if these fictional characters existed in a combined same universe, they'd be all working together and being friends.
yeah, it's been pretty crazy. But you
I
guys,
think
And
the.
like if Superman and Captain America, if Superman and Steve Rogers were in the same universe, also with Sam Wilson, they'd all be friends.
No,
If
but Batman.
Batman was in the same universe, he'd be friends with some of the Marvel characters at least.
No, but he'd make contingency plans to stop the Marvel characters.
Yeah, but he would also be friendly and cordial with other Marvel characters. Wonder Woman, she'd be friends with Captain Marvel.
Batman would be friends with some of the Marvel characters. He just wouldn't like Thor's attitude about battle. Because like Thor enjoys battle, and Batman would be like, "You should enjoy this stuff, man. This is serious." Like he would Spider-Man. He would tell Spider-Man not to joke while he's doing crime fighting. He take it serious. But Batman, he would respect them, but he's not afraid to come out on their shit.
Oh, I know that.
Oh, crazy!
Like,
Yeah,
but again, I'm just saying these characters, if they were in the same universe, most of these heroes would all get along just fine. So that's why I find the silly Marvel versus DC thing to be ridiculous, and I just don't understand this mentality some Snyder fans have, where like just because they love Snyder's movies, they're all of a sudden intellectually superior to Marvel fans.
Yeah, that is like a thing of like fandoms that I'm just so over. It's just guys,
like what the hell?
I think Dave the Film Junkie does that a lot of the times, and it's just like, Dave, buddy, just stop, buddy. Just please, you're making an ass of yourself. And again, I don't mean to hate Dave the Film Junkie, but just, man, he just really he literally just like makes it too easy sometimes. It's just really odd.
Yeah. I mean, I just say this: if Superman and Captain America were in the same room, that must be the most boringest conversation ever.
They just be Boy Scouting the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Stark and Batman, they probably would get along, but if they're in the same room with Captain America and Superman, they probably agree on one thing. There, be like, man, they're boring. They're always this boring, right? Yeah.
Yo, Diana and Carol Danvers would be like having girls' night outs, drinking and like partying. But they'd be having fun together. They'd be sharing like war stories. Like these characters would get along just fine.
Batman would have made sure Ultron already had a virus in him in case he goes rogue.
Dude, Batman would have prevented the events of No Way Home from happening by showing that Mysterio was the bad guy and getting Peter and his friends into Gotham University.
Yes.
like he would have done that. He would have said, "Hey, listen,
Tony Stark, the Avengers didn't bother helping out. Yeah, the Avengers didn't do anything. They didn't help him out. They're like,
So like literally, I would have seen Bruce Wayne.
That's the problem of Endgame. Is that the problem of Endgame? That's the problem of Endgame. After they defeated Thanos, everybody's on their own, out for their own.
Yeah. Like I can see like Bruce Wayne reaching out and saying, "Hey Peter, I heard MIT rejected you. Hey, listen, instead of going to Doctor Strange, how about I just get you and your friends an opportunity to go to Gotham University?"
Prove
look,
your innocence, yeah.
Or he'd be like, you know what? Like, there's plenty of crime in Gotham that I can use help with.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys hear this other big news coming out of DC? So a new casting update for the Joker. What was her name? She was like from Death of Smooshy. It's Kathleen Keener. Yeah, she was
from
that's pretty crazy.
Project.
Yeah. I'm not like the biggest fan of the first Joker. I don't even know why we need a second Joker film, but like the cast is coming together pretty nicely. And again, like this Joker film has been like the one thing that's been that like this is like literally like this is the thing about the Joker movies is that it's been used as like a scapegoat to stop all the bad publicity of WB. Like whenever there's like a negative story about WB, there's always like a Joker story like trailing right behind it.
Yes. When they announced Lady Gaga, what was going on during that time? Or something like Ezra Miller. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming on. I'm gonna end it here.
Yeah, same here. I gotta get going.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on Kino and George. I'm doing NFL stuff tomorrow, football stuff.
Nice.
But that's on my sports channel. My sports channel, not on this channel.
Man. See, you're a hustler, Aaron. You're a hustler, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Love the hustle.
I gotta keep track of this crazy wrestling stuff that's going on in a certain company. Oh my god. And yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Yeah, so big weekend, obviously, for Disney
Yep.
D23.
And also TIFF and a bunch of new trailers for a bunch of other films. It's going to be a good year for all types of film fans, and I'm really excited for it.
Yo, I'm
Yeah.
excited for 2023.
I hopefully we get Spider-Man 2 coverage for the video game. Hopefully.
Totally
Yes,
agree.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I have to out. And Aaron, thanks for having me on. George, it's always good
Anytime.
talking to you.
No, nice
Have a good
talking to you,
Alright.
man.
Yeah,
Have a
so
good-
okay. All right. So George, go plug your stuff and then I'll end the show.
All right, so you can just find me at the Just George channel, and I recently just did another review on another Kevin Smith film, Jay and Silent Bob reboot, as well as Jaws. And go check them out. Jaws is becoming my most watched video, so go check it out. And if you also want to follow me on Instagram, I've been more active on there this past few weeks. I'll plug in that link as well.
And George, when NBA season starts, we'll talk NBA stuff, season preview and stuff. Next.
Oh wait, hold on, I put in the wrong link. I gotta redact that.
But so next month we'll talk NBA, right? We'll talk NBA stuff, basketball.
But-
next month on my sporting
yes.
channels. All right, and yeah, so thank you for all
There we
joining
go.
me. So, oh crap, I'm gonna have to put my YouTube channels in the link. So yes, tomorrow I am doing I'm uploading a video, week 1 NFL predictions tomorrow. I'm also doing an NFL season preview on my sports channel. I'm gonna put my sports channel in the chat. So make sure all subscribe. There's nothing really on it now, so it's kind of naked, but yeah, just subscribe to it. That's my sports channel. Oh crap! I'm not even a moderator on. Oh, I didn't even make myself a moderator. See, Lane is SmackDown. That's my wrestling channel, so I'm also watching this on my shit.
Hold on, let me see if okay. I found your link to the SmackDown channel. I can put that in.
Yeah, put that in if you want.
Yeah, I'll put that in.
Here. Okay. This should be my sports channel. Let me check. Just to make sure.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, that's my sports channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for bringing wrestling channel in. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
So yeah, yes. So 2 videos. No, 2 streams tomorrow. There's gonna be. I'm uploading my season 1 predictions for NFL tomorrow. My sports channel. I'm doing an NFL season preview tomorrow in the afternoon, and I may have Brian on to join me if he's available. Otherwise, I'll go solo, or anybody else wants to talk NFL. We'll do a season preview. And 8 p.m. Eastern time, because I don't know when to drop the trailer. We're gonna do a live stream for the Black Adam second trailer during the Bills and Rams game. Is the first game of the season in Thursday Night Football. I don't know when it's dropping. I don't know if it's dropping during a certain time in the game, first quarter, halftime, third quarter. I don't know. So that's why we're gonna start at 8 p.m. Until somebody on Twitter, until I get a notice on Twitter or something, tell me when the exact time it drops. I'll change the timing of the stream. But so far I don't know. I'll say 8 p.m. The game is at 8:20 p.m., but I'll start 20 minutes earlier, and we can just talk to shits while we wait for the trailer to drop. So we'll talk about anything we want. Anything. And anything on that. Sports, wrestling, video games, movies, anything. This is anything. But yeah, thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you, George. Thank you, Kino. And thank you, Vince, for coming on earlier. So with that, guys, AWO and George are out. Take care.
Take care, guys.